Sometimes attraction doesn't arrive with loud words or obvious signals. Sometimes it whispers. And if you don't know how to listen, you'll miss the moment someone quietly chooses you. There are moments in life when another person slowly opens the door to their inner world, not dramatically, not with grand confessions, but with subtle actions that reveal trust, comfort, and emotional investment. Most people miss these signals completely. One of the first hidden signs appears when a woman becomes genuinely curious about your inner life, not the surface things like what you do for work or what car you drive, but the deeper questions. She asks about your childhood, your struggles, the moments that shaped you. This kind of curiosity isn't casual conversation, it's a doorway. When someone wants to understand your story, they're quietly inviting you into theirs as well. Another sign is when she begins to mirror your energy. Human psychology does this naturally, when connection forms. She laughs a little longer when you laugh. Her tone softens when you speak calmly. She might adopt phrases you use or share interests you mentioned before. This mirroring isn't manipulation. It's a subconscious signal that her mind feels comfortable aligning with yours. Then there's the powerful moment when she starts sharing parts of her life that she doesn't usually show others. Maybe she talks about fears she normally hides. Maybe she admits past mistakes or difficult memories. Vulnerability like this is never random. It only appears when someone feels emotionally safe. And emotional safety is one of the strongest foundations for deep connection. Another quiet signal appears through time. In a busy world where attention is constantly pulled in different directions, people invest their time only where their heart feels drawn. If she consistently finds ways to stay in conversation with you, to check in, to continue discussions long after they could have ended, it means something inside her values your presence. But the most overlooked signal of all is comfort in silence. When two people can sit together without rushing to fill every pause, something rare is happening. Silence becomes peaceful instead of awkward. It means the connection is no longer built only on words. It's built on presence. And presence is where real bonds begin. Most people chase loud signs and dramatic gestures. But genuine interest usually hides inside quiet behavior, the kind that only reveals itself to someone patient enough to notice it. Because when someone slowly lets you into their world, it's never accidental. It's a decision their heart made long before their words ever catch up. One of the strongest signals of emotional attraction is when a woman begins to include you in the small details of her life. Not the big events everyone sees, but the ordinary moments most people overlook. She might tell you about a random moment during her day, something funny that happened at work, a thought she had while driving, a memory that suddenly crossed her mind. To many people, this may sound insignificant, but psychologically it reveals something deeper. When someone starts sharing the small pieces of their daily life, it means you've become part of their mental space. Another sign appears through attention. In a world where everyone is distracted by phones, notifications, and endless scrolling, attention has become one of the rarest forms of respect. If she puts down distractions when talking to you, if she remembers things you mentioned days or weeks ago, if she brings up conversations you barely remember having, that's not coincidence, that's intentional focus. Human beings remember what emotionally matters to them. You may also notice that she becomes more open about her opinions and beliefs around you. Instead of staying neutral or guarded, she expresses what she truly thinks. This kind of honesty is not always comfortable, but it shows something important. She feels safe enough to be authentic, rather than simply agreeable. And authenticity only appears when trust begins forming. Another quiet indicator appears in the way she reacts to your presence in group situations. Even when others are around, you may notice her attention naturally returning to you. A quick glance to see your reaction, a subtle smile after you speak, a moment where your opinions seem to carry extra weight in the conversation. These signals are rarely dramatic, but psychologically, they reveal emotional alignment. Her mind is naturally checking in with yours. There is also a shift that happens when someone begins to value your perspective. She asks what you think before making decisions. She wants to hear how you see certain situations, not because she can't decide for herself, but because your viewpoint has become meaningful. This is an important stage in human connection. When someone begins to invite your perspective into their thinking process, they're allowing you to influence their emotional world. And influence doesn't happen without trust. Attraction isn't always loud. In fact, the strongest forms of connection often grow quietly, beneath the surface, long before anyone says a word about it. The real signals are not found in dramatic moments. They're hidden in everyday behavior. One of the most powerful psychological signs of deep attraction is emotional availability. This is when a woman gradually lowers the walls she built to protect herself from disappointment. Everyone carries emotional boundaries. Life experiences, past relationships, and personal struggles create layers of protection. These walls aren't weaknesses, they're survival mechanisms. But when someone feels safe with you, those walls slowly begin to soften. You may notice that she becomes more expressive around you. Her laughter becomes more natural. Her conversations become longer and more meaningful. Instead of short responses, she shares stories, reflections, and ideas. It's not just communication anymore. It's emotional connection. Another important signal appears when she starts trusting you with her thoughts during difficult moments. Maybe she tells you when she had a stressful day. Maybe she shares something that frustrated or worried her. This isn't about seeking solutions. Often it's about allowing you to see her real emotional state. Trusting someone with vulnerability is one of the strongest signs of connection. You might also notice that she remembers and acknowledges your efforts. If you show kindness, support, or encouragement, she recognizes it. She appreciates it openly. Gratitude in relationships reveals emotional awareness. People value the energy they hope will stay in their lives. There's also a subtle shift in how she responds to your presence during challenging conversations. Instead of becoming defensive or distant, she remains engaged. Even when opinions differ, she stays curious rather than dismissive. This shows emotional maturity and genuine interest in understanding you. Healthy attraction is not about perfection. It's about mutual respect and openness. Another hidden signal appears through encouragement. When a woman supports your goals, your growth, or your ambitions, it means she sees potential in who you are becoming. She celebrates your progress and motivates you when you doubt yourself. Psychologically, people only invest emotional support in someone whose future matters to them. And perhaps the most meaningful sign of all is consistency. Not occasional bursts of attention followed by distance, but steady presence over time. Consistency is one of the clearest indicators of real connection, because attraction that fades quickly was never deeply rooted to begin with. But when someone continues showing up, continues listening, continues caring even in ordinary moments, it reveals something powerful. It reveals intention. The final signs of deep attraction are often the quietest ones, but they carry the strongest emotional meaning. One of them is when a woman begins to imagine experiences with you in the future, not necessarily grand plans or dramatic promises. Sometimes it appears in small statements about things you could do together someday, visiting a place you both talked about, trying something new, sharing a moment that hasn't happened yet. Future thinking is a powerful psychological indicator. The human mind naturally imagines tomorrow with the people it values today. Another signal appears through emotional protection. When someone genuinely cares about you, they become mindful of how their actions affect you. She becomes more thoughtful with her words, more aware of your feelings. She doesn't want to create unnecessary hurt or distance. This doesn't mean perfection. Everyone makes mistakes. But intention matters. If she apologizes when misunderstandings happen, if she tries to repair moments of tension rather than ignoring them, it shows emotional investment. People repair what they don't want to lose. You may also notice moments where she celebrates your happiness as if it were her own. Your success, your progress, your good news brings genuine excitement to her voice. This kind of emotional sharing reveals empathy, one of the deepest elements of connection. Empathy creates bonds stronger than attraction alone. Another powerful sign is emotional presence during difficult times. When life becomes stressful or uncertain, many people disappear. But someone who truly values you stays supportive. She checks in, she listens, she reminds you that you're not facing challenges alone. That kind of presence is rare, but the most meaningful signal of all is when she feels comfortable being completely herself around you. No performance, no pretending, no pressure to impress, just authenticity. When someone feels safe enough to show their real personality, their real thoughts, and their real emotions, it means they trust the connection that exists between you. And trust is the foundation of every meaningful relationship. Now, I'm curious about something. Have you ever noticed these subtle signs from someone in your life, but only realized their meaning later? Share your experience in the comments below. And if this video helped you understand human psychology in a deeper way, make sure you like the video, subscribe to the channel, and share it with a friend who might need to hear this message today.